What's happening, Steeler Nation? What's up, friends? How are we? How's everybody doing this lovely evening? I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you had a lovely holiday. As some of you guys are chatting it up in here, there wasn't a live last week. Somebody asked if there was one this week, which, excuse me, obviously it is tonight. Excuse me, guys. Just finished eating. My bad. Had to whip up some stuff on my own. My wife had to head out, had to work today in New York. You know, she goes there like once a month just for the day. She'll be back here shortly, actually, probably while we're doing the show. So I had to whip up myself a little something, nothing special. But I just ate. And that's why I posted in there, guys, that I was going to be here at 8:15. So my bad on being a little bit late, but I'm going to be much better with that as far as advising you guys if I'm running a little bit late or if there isn't a show. And as I say that, contradict my own statement. I didn't mention that. Yeah, I did. I posted something last week on 4th of July that I would not be doing the show. So I definitely encourage you guys, not a shameless plug at all, but make sure you're following me on Twitter or whatever new social platforms will pop up. I hear there's this thing called Threads that I did actually sign up, just preliminarily because it's connected to Facebook and Instagram and all that, whatever. But I encourage you to definitely follow me on Twitter for now, and then if I'm somewhere else, I'll let you know. A TikTok probably will be coming as well. But anyway, just so you guys know when I am or not going live. All right, so let's have at it, man. Y'all know the routine. Let me hit the timer. Not a whole lot to get into this time of year, but I'm going to try my best to make it interesting. It's going to be more conversational tonight, more getting you guys' opinions on things. But let's say hello to the early commenters. Brent Fox, what's going on, buddy? Donovan Hubbard, Mark Cunningham, hello. Miss Lanisha in the building. Hello. Say hello to our lovely ladies. Good to see you, Lanisha. Appreciate that like always. Joshua Shields, the infamous Tim, Lydell Dorsey Jr. Who else is up in here? Excuse me. Father-in-law, Leonard Langley. What's going on, Pop? Who else we got up in here, man? Mark Irish, 717. Okay, you in my neck of the woods. 717 in here. I'm right here in York, PA. That's where I'm at. Who else? Why Diggy, my man? What's going on, brother? I skipped some names. Jeremiah Yoder, he says, to the greatest fans in the NFL. Absolutely. We got to be biased when we say that, right? The Arch Steeler 937. Who else is in here, man? Okay. He said, okay, Lydell, that's something to talk about. He's responding to Joshua Shields. He said, man, just growing, man. Bought a house and got twins on the way. Boy, we're going to throw you a round of applause for that. Round of applause. Everybody say congratulations to Lydell Dorsey, man. Couple blessings you got there. 3 of them. Buying a house. I don't know if you got, a townhome or a single family. You guys know my story. I started off with the townhome. Y'all know me and my wife recently had a home built, which is where I am now. We moved in April, and we're still getting adjusted, man. But it's a wonderful thing, to get the type of home that you wanted. Not to say too much, but we got probably going to do a pool next year. We're on schedule for that. COVID has still it pushed everything back, man. Yeah, we're on schedule for next summer. That's crazy, but it's good, man, to be in a position to, kind of get some, some comfort and appreciation and what's the word I'm looking for? Accomplishment, if you will. We always wanted to do a single family. We finally got it, built it from the ground up. And it's a wonderful thing, man. And the funny thing is, it has turned me into a lawn man. Guys, I hadn't cut grass since I was 18 years old, maybe 17, when I lived at home with my parents, still in Virginia. That's the last time I had to cut grass. Since then, it was apartments. And again, the only home that I have bought before this one, it was a townhome, right? And you had an association that did all of that. Now I got a lawnmower, a trimmer. I be out there. I was just outside looking at the grass, like trying to keep it green, like, and I love it. I love it. You know, it's crazy. I never thought I would be this nutty of a lawn guy, but I have become that. But yeah, congratulations to Lydell Dorsey, man, and definitely the other two blessings, twins. Wow. Wow, man. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. You know, God bless them already. May they be healthy, bundles of joy. So that is outstanding, man. Good to hear. Good to hear. Who else? Oh, my big bro is in the building, man. Cousin Floyd in the building. What up, Floyd? Yeah, I might have to holler at you what we talked about on text. I might have to hit Floyd up, guys, not this coming Friday, but the following Friday to get a haircut. He used to cut my hair when I was in Virginia. But long story short, and I'll talk about that a little bit later in the show, I'll be out of town next week, so it won't be a Terrible Towel Tuesday. And then we got our family reunion on that weekend. And, of course, my haircut appointment falls in the middle of there. So, you know, it's going to be a homecoming, if you will, going back and letting Floyd tighten me up a little bit, even though the hairline, you know, was a little, look at that, got a little thin action going there. It is what it is, man. Your boy's getting older. But, yeah. Congrats. Oh, my man said grass is his life, too. Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's becoming that, man. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird with the lawn. But yeah, all right, man. You guys are asking a lot of questions. Stay tuned for that, Infamous Tim. I definitely got some. I got some merch coming at some point. It's coming soon, hopefully. Got to do some trademarking and things like that. But be on the lookout for that, because some of you guys have asked me about that before. But all right, man. Let's get into it. I said hello to everybody for the most part. We don't have many things to get into. Again, at this time of year, you're just grabbing information from other websites, and we bring it here to where we get down and we discuss it and have a good time with each other. So let's see. Oh, you said you're gonna need the hat? Yeah, I made these a long time ago, by the way. And I still got the designs and everything. So we'll see. First thing we're going to start off with, you guys already see the main topic there in the comments. In the title. But I guess the first thing I'll hit on, man, you know, something light. Talk a little bit about Pro Football Focus, you know, PFF, as most of you guys would know it as. And I want to get a gauge on you guys on how you feel about them. One of which would be, I want to see how you guys feel about this. First of all, they have labeled Cam Sutton the biggest loss this season for the Steelers, and Darnell Washington the biggest gain for the Steelers. Wonder how you guys feel about that. Oh, my lady just pulled up, guys. So, like I said, man, she came home from out of town, from work, from New York today. So, you know, we'll make it kind of snappy so I can go be the husband, if you will. But yeah, man, Cam Sutton being the biggest loss and Darnell Washington being the biggest gain this offseason. And I just saw this article a little while ago, so I haven't had a long time to digest it. So I figured this would be a good conversation for us. And I'm thinking about it here in real time. I'm trying to think of who else we lost. I might be able to agree with the Cam Sutton loss. What I'm actually going to do, man, because again, I consider myself having a great memory, but sometimes you can't remember everything right off the dome, right? So I'm going to actually go to Steelers.com just to make sure I don't miss anything, right? And look at the transactions. And just make sure I'm not missing anything here. So we definitely know about Cam Sutton. I mean, there's quite a few names here, guys. I can run them all for you. I mean, we know about Cam. We already know what happened with that. You know, Keller Witherspoon is gone. However you feel about that. Miles Jack. I'm trying to think. Who else did we lose? Jameer Jones. Arthur Marlette. Who else? Because, you know, we lost Cam Sutton in free agency, and I can't see who else. So maybe you guys can jar my memory. So I will say this. just off of my recent memory, I will say Cam Sutton probably is the biggest loss, unless I'm missing somebody. Oh, you know who yeah, thank you, Mr. Winningham and Kenyon. Terrell Edmonds. Woof. That's a close race. That is a close race. You know what? Let me take a sip of water because I'm going to ponder on something real quick. See, I knew it was somebody I was forgetting. Y'all know what? I think I am going to change my stance. I think I'm going to say Terrell Edmonds. I think I'm going to say Terrell Edmonds might have been the biggest loss. Yes. I think I'm going to say that. Here's the reason why I'm going to say that. Let me start off by saying this. I want to say Cam Sutton. I really do. And I'm going to explain to you guys why I want to say it. Cam Sutton had a phenomenal season for the Steelers this past season. You know, I once criticized Cam Sutton for playing outside. I didn't think he was the greatest as an outside corner. He got another crack at it, you know, in full last season, and he played relatively decent. You guys know how I feel about Cam Sutton in the slot. Thought he was outstanding for us. Thought he did a lot of good jobs, you know, a lot of good things for us. Good job for us. Thought he was a solid tackler in open field. A lot of things, right? But the reason why I might say Edmonds is because of this. Both of these are unknown, right? What's unknown is we don't know exactly how much Joey Porter Jr. is going to, you know, contribute. How much we're going to have to rely on Patrick Peterson on the outside. We don't know. We don't know what Corey Trice is going to end up being. We don't know. That's a big unknown. But we also don't know how solid will guys like Keanu Neal be. We don't know. It's an unknown. We did get a chance to see how KZ plays, right? But we haven't seen KZ in the capacity of being the full-time strong safety. And what I mean by that is, again, last year, they Steelers did what we all wanted them to do, and they rotated that 3 safety look out there. They probably will still do that a little bit this year as well. However, it was more proven. The combination of Minka and Edmonds, I felt like, was more proven and more solid. And then throwing KZ in the mix, man, that was a beautiful combination. You know, just think about the short stint that we saw that. Man, when those 3 guys out there, I felt really good about our secondary. Now it's more speculative. And honestly, I would say it's not, I don't know if it's a right or wrong answer. I think I can make the same point for Cam Sutton. Being at the cornerback position is a little unknown. It's also unknown who's going to really be the nickel. Like, now they're trying to find out who does it, where Cam Sutton automatically slid in that spot. So let's say we followed the same path. Let's say we didn't pick up Patrick Peterson. We re-signed Sutton, and we still went and got Porter. You already know how that was going to look. You already know at some point Porter probably would be on the outside. They would slide Sutton inside and Levi on the other side. It wouldn't have been as much of a mystery. Now we're trying to figure out what we're going to do with Patrick Peterson. I'm stumped. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't know if I can answer it, bro. I want to see what some of you guys have to say, and I want to see if y'all agree with y'all. But I'm so contradicting myself right now because I said Cam Sutton first, then I went Edmonds. But honestly, I don't know if I could really outright call it. That's a tough one, bro. That is a tough one for me because of what I just outlined. But let me see what you guys got. What y'all got? Let's see. Y Diggy says, don't disagree with the biggest loss, but disagree with the biggest gain. I'm going to get there, Y Diggy. Don't worry. Let's see. Mark Iris says Edmonds was an L. Yeah. Jason Winningham is saying the biggest gain is Patrick Peterson because of leadership. Okay. The infamous Tim says, honestly, I think Edmonds was the biggest loss because it seems we're trying to replace him by committee. And I honestly don't like that approach. Hey, you just heard me make an argument for Edmonds, and I'm right there with you on that. Let's see. What's up, Thomas? I love how you spelled out PFF right there. I'm with you. We're gonna get there. Jeremiah Yoder says, how do you feel about Joey Porter Jr. and Patrick Peterson joining the Steelers secondary? Oh, I mean, yeah, I'm cool with that. Absolutely. I mean, I still got to see where Patrick Peterson is gonna, how much is he gonna play, and what spots is he gonna play in, and what's gonna be his utilization. But I love the addition of Patrick Peterson, not only for him being able to still play and help in spots, but the veteran leadership, man. I don't think, people undervalue that. You just like Mr. Winningham said, you can't replace that type of, I love it, bro. I love it. Cousin Flores said, had we not have lost Cam, will we still have got Peasy, Patrick Peterson, and Trice? Excellent question. Excellent question, Floyd. And I think the answer would be maybe not Patrick Peterson, or maybe Patrick Peterson and still Porter, and maybe not Trice, right? What I don't think would have happened, I don't think it would have been all three of them. I don't think we would have seen P squared, Porter, and Trice if Sutton were still in the fold. So that's a tough one to answer, but I'm gonna kind of answer it and say, nah, I don't think we see the three of them if Patrick Peterson was, Cam Sutton was still there. Kenya says Edmonds didn't make enough splash plays to be the biggest loss. Okay, see, Kenyon is looking at it from an actual on the field standpoint. Can't disagree with that. Whereas Cam Sutton had more splash plays. There's no argument there. Why Dickey says, I feel that Neal can do what Edmonds does. Okay, remains to be seen, but I definitely think and hope he'll be able to do that. What else? Lydell says Cam Sutton only because he has the gel and chemistry perspective on the defense. Yeah, I'm with you, man. So yeah, that's tough, man. That's a real tough one to answer. I think it could go either way. I love the argument by both of you, by everyone out here. I like both sides, and I love the fact that we can't distinctly say that's definitely the biggest loss. But yeah, that's interesting, man. When I saw that from PFF, I can understand why anyone would say Cam Sutton, but you could make a strong argument for sure for Terrell Edmonds. So we shall see. Who's this? Is it Deshaun? Deshaun Davis says, and I don't think I've seen your name before, so welcome, Deshaun. It says Keanu Neal is an upgrade from 34. So, all right, you must have been here at some point before, because it looks like you're following our mantra of not calling people by their name when they don't earn it. Nah, Edmonds is Edmonds. I think Edmonds did a really good job for the Steelers, a solid job at doing what he could do. But you might be right. At their peak, and I'm not talking about peak age, I'm just talking about peak capability, Keanu Neal might be an upgrade, may be able to offer more. So I see where you're going with that one. All right, now let's talk about the biggest gain. Woo. I haven't pondered on that, so I'm actually going to allow y'all to do that. I'm going to throw that one right at y'all. One of you guys already said Siamalu might be the biggest gain. Shout outs to Mark Irish. What do you guys feel about PFF saying that Darnell Washington is the biggest gain? That is interesting. That is very interesting, man. And just to add some context, let me go to the site here and I'll let you guys know who we got. We already know Patrick Peterson, Nate Herbig, Cole Holcomb, Landon Roberts, re-signed Larry Ogunjobi. So you can't really say that's a gain. He was there last year. But Siamalu, who else? We can put KZ in that category because KZ didn't play much last year due to injury and the fact that he re-signed for a 2-year deal. We could kind of throw him in that category. Brandon Fehoko, Keanu Neal, Armin Watts, Tanner Muse, We claimed the punter. I'm going to keep my eyes on that Braden Mann. I'm going to keep my eyes on that because Presley Harvin is not 100% safe. Allen Robinson. And then, of course, the draft picks. I mean, Broderick Jones, Joey Porter Jr., Keanu Benton, Darnell Washington, Nick Herbig, Corey Trice Jr., Spencer Anderson. Who else? Chandon Sullivan. Who else? A couple guys that we signed from the practice squad. Not practice squad. What am I talking about? Free agents. Like undrafted guys. Cornerback Luke Barku. I think he played in one of the leagues, as well as Hakeem Butler. Mason Rudolph back on the 1 year. I don't think we spent enough time talking about that one. Toby Ndukwe. Let's see. Marcus Golden. Man, I forgot about Marcus Golden. Who else? Nick. I don't know how to pronounce his name. The linebacker. Nick, let's just say Kiwi. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's Kwiatkoski. And yeah, there you have it. So the biggest game. Wow. This is a tough one. I'm just trying to eyeball this and see if I have one. Projections wise, I would have to go with Broderick Jones and I'm going to say Broderick Jones and Joey Porter Jr. and I'm going to explain to you why. And then I'm definitely going to the chat. And I want to see what you guys have to say. And like I said, guys, there's no right answer. There's no right answer here. It's you give your opinion and state your case. The reason why I'm going to say Broderick Jones and Joey Porter Jr. is only speculative, only based off of projection, only based off of what I hope they do, only based off of what I think they could bring to this year. So I think Broderick Jones has the potential to be an upgrade over Dan Moore. I'm going to strongly say potential. We don't know. Got to throw them pads on. But if I'm just looking at, what he looked like in this past year and his aggression and things like that, his agility and his movement, I think he could be a potential upgrade over Dan Moore. So if he wins that job, I think we see success passing the ball, running the ball, all of the above because of a change there. Right? So you got to say that's a huge gain. If you mess around and you've messed around and fell into a top tier, we don't know, guys. I'm just using these coined phrases, quote unquote. If you messed around and fell into a top tier left tackle and he contributes this season, that is one of the biggest gains, in my opinion. Right? Let's flip it on the other side of the ball. I'm going to say Joey Porter Jr. for kind of the same reasons. If you messed around and fell into getting one of the top corners in the draft and they end up playing out like that, boom. The Steelers would have just addressed two positions of need long term. So again, I'm just going off of projections, right? And I feel like those two guys might be the biggest gains to me because of potential. If we want to talk about veteran, I would probably say I'll do two sides of the ball again. And I know I'm cheating, guys, by giving two names, but I'm just saying that it's just a discussion, right? I would say Allen Robinson and Keanu Neal. And the reason why I say that is Allen Robinson, again, potentially if we move him inside and make him a big slot that he's capable of playing, I think he adds another dynamic to the offense if he's healthy. And Keanu Neal, obviously, because you could potentially have an upgrade or same level of play as Terrell Edmonds. So in that case, that would be a huge gain because you shifted or shuffled a little bit your defense and your secondary and you get the same level of play or better. That's a huge gain. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. Again, I haven't sat down and, analyze this to the fullest, extent, just kind of off the cuff. So I'll throw it to you guys. I want to see what you guys have to say. Again, we already talked about, they said PFF, Cam Sutton being the biggest loss, but then they're saying Darnell Washington is the biggest gain. And I have to push back on that because again, Darnell Washington, well, maybe they're using what I'm using. They're using projections and they're using the what if factor. Yeah, he has the potential to be something, but if I had to compare him to everyone else, whether it be rookie or free agent, I just don't know if that's the biggest gain for this particular season. But let's see. What do you guys think? Oh man, I gotta read what Deshaun Davis said. He says, "I'm a big fan. Been watching you since the start of last season. You always put out a great content and you are objective, which I like. Also from VA as well." You already know. 2 up, 2 down. You already know. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Y'all know VA all day. Always gonna rep the birthplace, brother. Let's see what y'all got. Diggy says, "In my opinion, Siamalu is the biggest addition because of the leadership in the O-line, which will help Broderick Jones. Also feel Broderick lit a fire in Dan Moore Jr. based on the report I heard." Yeah. And that's the thing. See, we don't know if he's going to beat out Dan Moore, so that's why I kind of went with the projection type of thing with my answer. But that's a great answer for Siamalu. Can't disagree with that. OBM also says, Siamalu, his addition to the offensive line can help them take that next step. Okay, we'll see. And I think in the run game will absolutely be a great addition. And, if we're going to say that, Darnell Washington might make an impact immediately with that, because he calls himself the 6th offensive lineman. So we'll see. Jacob says, and I'm glad you caught up to the question, man. My bad. I saw your first message a little late. He says, I'd say the O-line as a whole, adding Darnell into that should help the run game and Kenny and Pat. Yeah, it's crazy. We both kind of said the same thing there as far as Darnell Washington. I just don't know if he's the biggest gain, but we'll see. Kenyon says, Okay. He's talking about Deontay and GP. Okay, so something else there. I do agree with Kenyon's next comment. He says Hakeem Butler is his camp sleeper. Yeah, man. Just imagine if Hakeem Butler messes around and balls out. Woof. Woo. Woo. Boy. Could get nasty. Could get a little nasty, Miss Jackson. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. What else? Okay, so that's it. Nobody else really had any comments on that. So, okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't think you could go, there's not a right or wrong answer there. We're all just giving opinions. Oh, one last one. David Jones Jr., he says, although I like the pickup of Washington, I think that the 2 offensive linemen that we picked up will yield huge dividends, not only for Kenny, but for Najee. Absolutely. And we're going to talk a little Najee in a second here. But yeah, Leonardo says he hopes that Neal is a Ryan Clark type. Okay, I will take that. Only thing I would add to that is that I would like them to have a little bit more coverage than Ryan Clark. No disrespect to Ryan Clark, but y'all know Ryan Clark wasn't the greatest in coverage. I will put him a step above Mike Mitchell, because many times, Clark might be in better position even if he got beat. But yeah, I would like Neal to have a little better cover skills. But like I said, sometimes, guys, we're just dreaming, right? It's not often that you're going to get 2 safeties that are absolutely great in coverage. I mean, that doesn't happen every day. So I'm learning to, number one, not compare any strong safety to Troy Polamalu. And number 2, not expect both safeties to do the same things and be these ball hawk, ball skill type of guys. That just don't happen every day. Doesn't happen every year. So I know, David, we can only hope, right? He's a little bit better. Let's see. Was there anything else? Okay, I think that's it on that front. So let me get back to the next topic. We'll continue with PFF, man. PFF pissed off Cam Heyward. And I love it. I love a pissed off Cam Heyward. And I'm just going to give my quick thoughts on a perspective really quick. I won't spend a lot of time with this man, but they were quoted as calling him a $3 lineman. And then apparently Cam Heyward, clapped back on social media. I didn't read it. Didn't really feel like I needed to. I love Cam Heyward. Y'all know that. Cam Heyward is going to always have a special place in my heart. We all got those players, right, that has come through the organization and you just fell in love with who they were as people and players, right? Cam Heyward, leads the charge and big men continuing to run. Y'all remember that play, not last season, but the season before last, I think. Was it the Charger game? When, Cam had to run 50 yards down the field and still made the tackle. It's like he epitomizes that. They said John Mitchell used to always teach that, when he taught the D-line is everybody should be chasing the ball. And you can see that Cam sets that example, and he gives you his all every single time out. And I have been saying this for the last at least 2 years, maybe more than that. But y'all have heard me come on this show, actually the post-game show, and sometimes on Terrible Towel Tuesday. And I say every week, Cam Heyward always does something, whether it's being disruptive, getting a sack, batting a ball. He's always doing something. You're going to call his name at least once every single game. Love Cam Heyward, and I love that he's pissed off, and I love that he still feels like there's more to do. I would love for Cam Heyward to get a ring. I do not know if it's going to happen, guys, before he retires. I'm just being honest. Love that guy. But come on, calling the man a $3 lineman. And I don't put a lot of stock into PFF. I really don't. I really don't. You know what I put a lot of stock in? These eyes of mine. When I watch games. And then many times that, analysts or PFF or, the media heads on these shows, they always got their opinions about players. And I never listen to the opinion of one of them and just jump on the bandwagon. I might agree with one of these guys say, right? If it's something that I feel as well. But some people, especially the fan base, some people will read an article, look at a YouTube video, or they'll watch one of the shows on these networks, and then that becomes your opinion because this guy said it, instead of having your own opinion. I always trust my own opinion over PFF because there's sometimes that PFF is clearly wrong. Clearly. Do you guys realize that Cam Heyward is only 2 sacks shy of James Harrison's sack margin? They talk about he's not a Hall of Famer. He might not be in terms of what it takes for you to get voted in, but Cam Heyward should be. Let's not forget this dude is a defensive tackle. Listen to what I said. He's about to surpass James Harrison for sacks as a Pittsburgh Steeler. 2 away. That's crazy. As a D tackle in the 3-4. You understand what I'm saying? And Cam Heyward has been doing it since before we were playing mostly sub-package football. Come on, man. Y'all better stop. Y'all better stop. Cam is that dude. And like I said, we can argue whether or not he gets in the Hall of Fame. I don't know, but I just don't like the disrespect, man. I don't like the disrespect. I don't like the disrespect that he gets. And good point that Jacob made. I think people look at Aaron Donald and they stop there. And Aaron Donald, come on, phenomenal. Phenomenal. But the disrespect that Cam Heyward gets year in and year out, week in and week out, is horrible. So PFF, we don't give a F. How about that? We keep it clean and dirty at the same time. Come on, man. Another quick topic before we get to Najee. This don't really matter to me either because, again, the eye test. ESPN has ranked TJ Watt as the 4th best pass rusher in the league. And apparently, rumor has it or, was reported that injury history has been factored into that. And honestly, I'm going to be honest and say, you know what, ESPN, whoever came up with that, I don't know if I can disagree with it because of injury history. So if you're judging it based off of him not being healthy for the full season, the last 2 seasons, I don't really have much of a problem with that. But we all know, come on, if TJ is not number 1, he's definitely number 2, in my opinion. I'm not being biased there, guys. It's TJ Watt. This is the same guy who, in my opinion, broke the sack record, because that tackle for loss that they didn't call a sack against the Ravens that year, that would have broke the record instead of tying the record. But anyway, so come on, man. If TJ is not number 1, come on. He's got to be 2. He's not number 4. However, I will respect that opinion if you're saying, look, man, you know, the guy is not healthy all the time, so we got to knock him down a few. Fine. So like I said, I don't really pay attention to the list and all that. You talk about it because it's out there, but that doesn't affect the way I feel about a player. All right, and I don't think it was disrespect. I think, again, if they're really judging it based off of injury history and availability, okay, I see your point, but I still say TJ is the guy. But yeah, he definitely got to stay a little healthy, TJ. You know, I don't know what you got to do to figure that out, man. You know, I think sometimes maybe he goes so hard, you know, freak things happen, like tearing a pec. So we'll see what happens going forward. All right, but last but not least, man, before we get to the phone calls, I definitely wanted to talk really quick, man, about something else. You know, shout outs to Steelers Depot. They pointed it out. You know, Najee going into his 3rd year. Yes. I'm going to jump right on that topic as well. This is the big year for Najee. And as you see in my title, I said it's the biggest year for his career. And I'm going to explain to you why. As a running back, particularly in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform, the way we utilize them and how many carries and touches they get, it is imperative that he shows off this year and shows his value, right? Because they're going to have to decide if they're going to put a 5th-year option, if they're going to, they're going to honor that. If they do, that gives you at least another good solid 10 years, put some good money in your pocket as far as that option. But it also will determine whether or not the Steelers, and the front office, Omar Khan and those boys, if they would prefer to just extend you rather than rolling in and paying the 5th-year option. So if you have an outstanding year this year, you would technically be going into your last year of your contract next year. And we know that is the off season generally when the Steelers want to do business. So again, I think if he shows up like consistently where he's been and even steps it up a little further, you put the pressure on the Steelers to lock you up. So I think either way, puts on a great show this year. He's going to get paid. It's just going to depend on how much does he get paid. Does he just get guaranteed the 5th-year option, or does he force the Steelers to want to do business with him and extend? So Najee, you got the line now. We hope. I think the Steelers are going to feature you a lot again this season. I don't think they're just going to give Kenny the reins to just throw it here, throw it there. I think it's going to be a good mix again of run, pass. I think we're going to see what we saw in the last 5 weeks of the season, this past season. So get ready. So we need you to have, I'm going to be modest here. I mean, this is the NFL. Can Najee pull off 6 games of 100 yards or more on the ground? Is that fair? Do you guys think that's fair? Some of you might say that's too high. Some of you might say it's too low, but you got to remember, it's the NFL. So let's say you get those 6. There's still games that you can rush for 80 and 85 yards here, 92 yards here, 91 yards there. Total collective. It might be a game that you rush for 80-something yards, but then you got 70 yards receiving. But I'm just talking about outright rushing the football on the ground. Can Najee have at least 6 or better 100-yard games? I think if he does that, I think he's well over 1,000 yards. I think he proves his worth, and maybe he gets paid. How many touchdowns am I looking for? And again, this kind of you might say is a little lofty, Can he have 12 to 15 rushing touchdowns? If he do something like that, he's good money. We'll see. Kenyon says, man, the Steelers going to sign JPJ and extend Highsmith before they even think about picking up Najee's fifth-year option. You are absolutely correct, sir. You are correct, sir. But they don't have to do it right until, they don't have to pick that up until the end of this season. So we'll see. But I know what you're saying. You know, I think they got time with Joy Porter. But, yeah, Highsmith is priority right now. So we'll see, man. I just think it's going to be a tremendous opportunity for Najee. It's going to be a huge year for him. And we'll see how he fares in that. So there you have it, man. That's all I got for you guys, man. Let me see. Let me check the queue and see if anybody's in there. Got a couple calls in there, so we'll take a couple calls, man. And then after that, I'm going to go say hello to my missus. Let's see what we got going on. First in the queue, we got area code 951. What you got for us?
Hey, what's up, Tim? Hey, man, thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
So I just got a real quick question. You know, kind of a fun scenario for you. Not much going on right now. But as far as on paper, the Steelers offense appear on paper to have enough on the inside perimeter with the receivers and in the slot, tight ends in the middle of the field, and along with the run game. It looks like they have enough on paper to be able to make the defenses respect them, hopefully. And I know that's all depending on Matt Canada, too. But the question I got, a scenario I got for you is week one, you're going against the 49ers, have a pretty good defense, right? If you're the Niners defensive coordinator, what guy on the Steelers offense, minus Najee, what pass catcher on the Steelers offense do you think that you would be telling your guys that you can't let him get hot? You know, who do you think the defense is going to be paying a little more attention to? That's all I got.
Man, that's a good question. See, I love these questions. And thanks for calling, first and foremost. Woof, man, y'all got me thinking on the spot. Not Najee, because obviously they're going to want to stop the run. We know that. And that front, you know, they are capable of stuffing a run and putting pressure on the QB. So, but I would say George Pickens. And this is the reason why I would say that. I can't say I've watched a ton of Niners football. I've watched it, but I haven't, you know, I'm not always paying attention to what they're doing from a schematic standpoint. But I would imagine that there will be opportunities where there's single coverage, you know, because if you're gonna, you know, come out and say we're gonna stop the run, you're probably gonna get more opportunities where there's guys in one-on-one situations. George Pickens is a guy that you don't want to continue to win in those situations. And if he's winning those situations like that and you're trying to rotate on him, then guess what? Now you got to deal with Deontay one-on-one, which, again, I know some of you guys are down on him, but Deontay Johnson is one of the best. Arguably, you could argue that he's in the category of best. Yes, I'm saying this in this one specific area. Separation. Whether you hate or love Deontay Johnson, that boy get open. So I would say George Pickens, because I think, again, you're going to come into the league. Most defensive coordinators are going to know what I just said and say, all right, man, we got to pay attention to Deontay. But you got to pay attention to GP. That's the guy that you don't want to get hot. Because like I said, you start having to rotate on him and you leaving Deontay, then you leaving Najee to be able to run the ball or spread him out. Then you got to worry about Freiermuth. You know, oh, and then let's not to mention, we don't know how this is going to fare, but, you know, what if Allen Robinson is doing his thing or whoever else? So I would say George Pickens would be the guy that I wouldn't want to heat up, so to speak. But good call. Good call, man. Good call. I really appreciate it. Let's take the next one. Somebody from down in the Hampton Roads area, VA, baby, 757 in the building. What you got for us?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Good. What's going on, man?
Everything's good. Couple things. First, I enjoy your show, man. I really appreciate what you do. It's always very insightful and whatever, when what y'all on the program doing. But my thing is this: to speak on whether TJ is, top 2 in his position. I think it all goes down to the fact that the defense has to stay on the field so long. That's why he gets hurt. If you look at that game against the Bengals when, he had the injury, they've been on the field so long. They trying to do so much because the offense is doing 3 and outs all day long. That's going to wear anybody on defense down. So that's, for him. Now, we talk about Najee. The fact that we have picked up these offensive linemen, and hopefully they can gel and get it together. Because, you got to admit it, not everybody's Barry Sanders can make something out of nothing. You know what I'm saying? He's not that guy. That's like Barry Sanders, once in a lifetime, type talent. So with the help that they have on the offensive front now, Najee, I really believe is going to have, a spectacular year. As long as he can find a hole, because I did see a number of times, last season where the hole is right there and he's going the opposite direction. I'm thinking like, what are you thinking? You know what I'm saying? But, when you're on the field, it's different. We sit at home watching it, okay, we seeing that. But when you're on that field and those guys are playing like that, it's a different situation. And to go back to the first quarter, I actually would think doesn't matter who gets hot on the Steelers offense. It's a matter of the plays that Canada calls in, because at the end of the day, we can have Joe Montana under center. It doesn't matter. But if your offensive coordinator is calling in bogus plays, all the time, and really when deciding to come out there and be like, oh, I'm going to call a good play, when we're a minute left in the game and we're trying to scramble to win, that's the issue. So that's what I got. I just feel like we had the potential to be great, but it's all going to come down to the people calling the plays for us. It's that simple. I appreciate you, brother. Keep it up.
Man, appreciate you calling as well. And first and foremost, thank you, man. I appreciate that you appreciate the show. So thank you for that. Man, you said a lot, and I'm going to comment on everything you said. I'm going to start right with the last point. You are absolutely right, sir. It all comes down to Matt Canada offensively and Terrell Austin and Tomlin and anybody else who has a hand in the defense. But, man, how right you are. Just answering the first question of the first caller, it don't matter who gets hot. Are they going to be able to get hot based on what Matt Canada's calling in there? So that is an excellent point. What you said about Najee, yes, you are right, man. I love when you guys call with insight, man. Yes, Najee still had moments last season where it seemed like he didn't, hit the hole. Or he missed it. A lot of times, people who've joined the channel, I still do the all 22, and I showed them, like, look at this. There were times where he missed it. And then it seems like later in the season, he got in his rhythm and he was hitting it hard, boom, right to the hole. That's what we need. Because like you said, Najee is not your Barry Sanders type, and nobody is. But what I'm saying is, Najee is not really the type of back that's going to make something out of nothing. I mean, he can make maybe a guy miss, or he can overpower a guy. That's his game. He's not really the most shiftiest guy. He's not even to say Barry Sanders. Let's just think back some years. Think back to like a LaShawn McCoy. Shady McCoy was shifty. McCoy might get out of some trouble just with his shiftiness. That ain't Najee, right? Najee needs to hit the hole. And like I said, Najee can make a man miss an open field. But it ain't nothing there. It ain't too much coming out of that from Najee. So I agree with you 100%, man. I mean, he has to, and not to say that he doesn't, but he got to get in the film room. Those are the film room type of things where I'm sure the coaches are like, Faulkner's probably telling them, right there, you could have pressed it. And, learning your offensive lineman and kind of having trust in where they're going and where the play is designed, or which, shoulder they like to block towards, that might help him find the hole a little better. And that's, going back to the Steelers history, that's what made a dude like Le'Veon so great. Le'Veon was a big boy, but he was shifty and patient. I know a lot of people wonder where that style came from, but not Le'Veon had the hesitation. I'm gonna wait, there it is. Boom. You know what I'm saying? And that was a skill in itself. And he was crazy shifty in open field. Like, ooh. Le'Veon was that dude, man. I want you guys to go back and recall that. He was, woof. That boy had moves on him. But yeah, and then also, man, I think you're absolutely right about TJ. A lot of times our defense is over exerting themselves, and that definitely could lead to injury. I know there's no way for us to really quantify that, but I mean, I could definitely agree with my man's assessment. The more you're on the field and more you're exhausting energy out there and things like that, that's where you can get hurt. You're doing too much, And again, TJ just happens to be hit with the injury bug, but I'm pretty sure that could contribute to it as well. A lot of them 3rd and longs, and then we converting them, and then, opposing offenses on the field for 6 or more minutes. Can't have that. So enjoyed that call, man. And, we'll wrap it up right there. We didn't have any other callers tonight, so I appreciate both of you guys. I'll get back here in the chat right now. So if you come into the queue now, unfortunately, I'm not going to see you because I'm going back to the chat. We'll end on that call. So I appreciate both of you guys calling in tonight. What do you guys got, man? I'm going to give you guys about, a few minutes. Chop it up for a minute before we roll. What y'all got in here? Nolan Rice says Warren is nice. Yeah, that's the thing, man. I do wonder how much Jaylen Warren will get. Oh, appreciate you as well, David, man. Thank you. I do wonder how much more time Warren will get this year, because Warren got something. That he definitely has something special. Hello, Erica J. Hello. Obviously, I don't want to say obviously. I know the climate that we're in. I'm not trying to disrespect nobody, so I'm just gonna say I think that is another one of our lady listeners. So if so, hello, appreciate you. If not, hello, appreciate you. But I welcome everyone. I just, sometimes you can't always, nowadays, you can't just automatically assume. But the reason why I'm even pointing that out is in case you don't know, and I'm sure you do, because it looks like, you may have been here before. We like to give a warm welcome and a special hello to our, thank you. You confirmed it. Well, hello, Miss Lady. Thank you for joining. We appreciate you. Appreciate all of our lovely ladies, man, coming in here in this quote unquote male dominating sport and subject matter. So we always appreciate our ladies. I see Lanisha has reached out to you right away. What else y'all got? And Matt Canada, by the way, is on the hook this year. For, really though, this is supposed to be his last season. So y'all already know how the Steelers do. They won't have to fire him. They just won't renew him. So we shall see. Absolutely, Jacob. Not me. I stay away from all of that. When you're on these public platforms, you gotta behave like you're on a public platform. You know what I mean? And that's just how I feel about that. Some people would feel differently. I'm gonna be me regardless. Well, you really can't. When you playing in somebody else's arena, you got to play by their rules. Very similar to the John Morant thing. Whoever he is outside of basketball, whatever. If you, tote guns and all that, whatever. If you are quote unquote hood cat, even though I hear otherwise, I hear that's more of an act with him. But do whatever you do. However, you play for a billionaire organization, so you got to play by their rules. That's all I'm saying. I think sometimes people keep, they take that I'm keeping it real thing too far. Look, I'm one of the realest you ever find. I have life outside of YouTube, and I've had a life before that when I was younger, and I was wild, ran out there. I used to rap. I mean, I've done a lot of things, but when I'm right here in front of this camera, I got to play by YouTube's rules. That's all. Sorry for that little side rant, but I'm just saying. But speaking of which, guys, I guess I'll wrap up with this just to give you guys a PSA. Next week, more than likely, I will not be doing a show. We'll be heading back to Tampa. I'm so glad too, man, because you guys that have been rocking for a while, y'all know my wife and I allowed my son to stay in Tampa with his grandpa for this will be the 3rd week. And boy, do I miss him. Y'all have no idea. I mean, most people say they want to kick their kids out. Not me. I didn't even want them to go, and I have missed them every single day. So we're finally going back down there this coming Friday. And we'll return next Friday. So obviously Tuesday, I'm not going to take all of this stuff, and it just won't be a show. I mean, if there's something very important to talk about, I might just hop on my phone really quick and say, yo, y'all hear about this? Da, 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 da. But more than likely, we can pretty much just say there will not be a show next week, next Tuesday. But we'll be back on the following Tuesday, and we're getting closer. We're getting closer to training camp, and now we can really have some conversations and get back in there. Also, tomorrow, just in case some of you guys care, I wanted to give you guys opinion real quick. We'll end with this. Y'all seem to like when I talk about stuff outside of Pittsburgh, the Steelers and, just life stuff. So tomorrow, my wife and I are actually going to the Beyonce concert, the Renaissance tour in Philly. Yeah, kind of fell into our lap, right? We weren't going to go, and then our niece decided that, she second guessed her purchasing tickets to go, and she asked us, would we buy them? We did. So long story short, we're going. But the story I want to tell you guys, man, this has been quite the funny experience, right? Because as my wife has shown me on TikTok and all of that, everyone is planning their Renaissance tour outfits and this and this and that, and everyone's dressing in the theme of the tour. And I'm like, bruh. And I know Floyd in here, he already know. Bruh, you really think me? You think I'm going to wear a themed outfit to a concert? Yeah, picture that. Not happening, bruh. So then, obviously, a lot of the ladies, cool. My wife, she's following suit, gonna look real cute. Outfit look real nice. I can't wait to see her put it on. But here's the thing. So I said, just out of curiosity, I asked my wife, search the men's outfits. I'm just curious to see what these cats is wearing. Bruh. Some of this stuff was so bad, I almost questioned even going. I was like, bruh, I'm not even going to go for somebody even thinking that I thought I was going to wear anything like that. So y'all know I'm going like me. I'm going to look nice, but I'm regular. I'm just going to put on nice shirt, not probably wear pants. I don't think I'm going to wear shorts. Fresh sneakers. It's at Lincoln Financial. It's in a football stadium. So, you know what I mean? I'm going to be comfortable. I'm going to be fresh and comfortable, but I absolutely will not be themed out. The only thing that's going to be close to theme is the colors that I wear would probably coincide with what my wife is wearing, but I am not wearing no Renaissance tour themed outfit. Absolutely not. Oh, Floyd, go ahead. If y'all trust me, just do it yourselves. If y'all are on TikTok, search these outfits and do outfits for men Renaissance tour. And you ask yourselves if you think that I'm going to be in anything like that. That's all I'm saying. But we'll see. I think we'll have a good time, man. So in your neck of the woods tomorrow, Twan. But all right, man, I thought I'd just share that with y'all, man. No Jack, you crazy, boy. I'm telling you, bro. You ain't gonna catch it. You ain't catching your man out there like that. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, but I'm going, man. It's a good thing to go to with the lady. You know what I mean? It like I said, it popped up in our lap. We probably never would have went had we not we kind of looking out for our niece, very responsible. She said, you know what, I don't think it's the most responsible thing for me to do right now on these tickets. And it wasn't crazy because the seats ain't like close, but so we was like, all right, we'll take them. We ain't got nothing else to do. But all right, man, hope you guys have a great rest of the night, man, rest of the week. And I apologize that I won't be on next week, man. But hey, when I do come back, hopefully we have some real stuff to talk about. Before you go, man, if you haven't already, make sure you take care of that right there. 3 little things I ask from you is simply hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. That ain't too much to ask. I don't think that's too much to ask. Come on now. But outside of that, man, I hope everyone has again, great rest of the week. Have a great week next week. Enjoy the summer. If you're going to concerts like we are, be safe. Keep that third eye open, man. People are crazy out here nowadays, which, the reason why I don't do as much stuff like that anymore. But yeah, everybody stay safe. God bless. Good night. And like always, thank you for tuning in to Terrible Towel Tuesday. Catch you guys next time. Peace.